Okay, as I approach the bus, I'm making sure it's not leaking or leaning, which would indicate a suspension problem. I get on my bus, 3 points of contact. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my parking brake, make sure it's attached and secure and working. Good. My seat, attached and secured. Checking my
fastens correctly.
Seat belt, make sure it's attached and secure, not cracked, broken, or frayed, and that it attaches and fastens correctly. Get in the bus, in the seat. I'm going to put my seat belt on. Shut my door. Wait for my 3 clicks. While I'm doing that, I'm going to check, make sure my mirrors are good. Set my mirrors up where I need them to be. Start my bus. Seat belt on, so that's a safe start. My needles are already where they need to be, so I'm going to give it a couple of pumps just to get the needles to move. I'm going to let it cut out on its own. Tap the gauges just to make sure that they're not stuck. Needles are starting to move. Alright, so now I'm going to start my DOT brake test. Air compressor controlled by the governor must cut out at no more than 130 psi. Reason for the test is to make sure that the system does not overpressurize. 3 full applications. I'm going to use my fast idle just to get my needles to move. Normally when it gets to about 100 psi, I turn my fast idle off. But to speed up the process, I'm going to let it go a little to about 120. Air compressor controlled by the governor cut out, both needles cut out at 125, that is a pass. Next test is going to be my static test. We at Nctd do not release the parking brake because we do not use wheel chocks. I'm going to time it for 1 minute and I can have an air loss of no more than 2 psi. 21s, 25s, and 2600s, I would turn my master run switch to day run so that way the needles would register. Wait for 1 minute. I'm going to do a New York minute. So it's been 1 minute and I have had an air loss of 0 psi. That's a pass. Next test is going to be my air applied test, and I can lose no more than 3 psi in 1 minute. Reason for the test is to check both the parking brake and the service brake for any air leaks. My primary needle is at about 114. My secondary is at 120. Once again, I'll do a New York minute. It's been a minute. I've had an air loss of 0 psi. That is a pass. Next test is going to be my cut in. Air compressor controlled by the governor must cut in at no less than 85 psi. Reason for this test is to make sure that the system starts pumping air when it should into the service tanks. 3 clicks. Start my bus. The needles are not going to move, so I'm going to make 1 full application. Wait for 10 to 15 seconds, and if the needles have not moved, I'll repeat the process. air compressor controlled by the governor. My primary cut in at 895, and my secondary is going to cut in at 110, so that would make it a pass. Next test is going to be my low air warning. My low air warning buzzer and light should come on between 55 and 75. This is to alert the driver of a major air loss. As soon as it comes on, I'll turn off my bus. So my low air warning and buzzer came on at about 74 PSI on the primary and about 86 on the secondary, so that's making it a pass. Next test is going to be my spring brake pop-up, which should occur between 20 and 45 PSI. The reason for this test is to ensure that my spring brake pops up when it should. Apply my service brake, release the parking brake, cover lightly with 2 fingers, start pumping. Spring brake popped up at primaries about 63, secondary 65, making this a pass. Next test, I'm going to recheck my cutout. Wait for my 3 clicks. Turn my fast idle on. Also, I did not state that my ABS light came on and went off. So while I'm waiting for it to recharge, I'm going to tell you about my parking brake. I'd exit the stall, I'd pull forward 5 miles an hour, apply my parking brake, the vehicle should come to a complete stop. If it does, that's a pass. If it doesn't, that's a fail. My service brake, once again, 5 miles an hour, holding onto the steering wheel lightly. I would put firm pressure onto the service brake. It should come to a complete stop, not turning to the right or to the left, which could indicate a brake or a suspension problem. And I can have no more than 2 inches of play in a 20-inch steering wheel. My third test is going to be my hydraulics, which we're doing a 400 series with the engine on. I'm going to make 3 full applications onto the service brake. On the third application, I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds and the pedal should not move. My last test is going to be my rear door interlock. Reason for the test is in case I'm servicing a stop, should my foot slide off the service brake, the vehicle should not move. That is not our bus. Again, my air compressor control by my governor cut out at 126, that's a pass. My rear door interlock. Apply the service brake, drive, release the parking brake, open the back door. Green light is on, release my service brake. There's no movement to my throttle, so that is a pass. Neutral. Parking brake, close my rear door, and release my service brake. That is my DOT brake test.
Awesome.